So alam nyo ba, according to WHO or the World Health Organization, a quarter of the world's population has actually TB in their lungs. Oh my god, a quarter? Yes, so currently there's like 8 billion people in the world, diba? And a quarter of 8 billion is actually 2 billion. So guys, 2 billion people in this world have TB in their lungs. Think about it, guys. Baka isa ka na doon. Naghihintay lamang yung mga virus na to, guys, sa lungs natin to attack us when our immune system is weak. So parang mga ano sila, bantay sa lakay, ganon. And by the way, guys, did you know that the 8th billion person in this world, tama ba? Yung person na pang 8 billion sa buong mundo is actually from the Philippines. Her name is Venice Mabansag at siya yung pang 8 billion na tao sa mundo. That's just a fact. Anyway, let's talk about TB. Tuberculosis, also known as Koch disease, Koch's ba to or Koch? Hindi ko alam. It's Koch's disease. Is an infection of the lung parenchyma. Infection siya, guys, just like pneumonia. Pag sinabing lung parenchyma, guys, tandaan, parenchyma is a collection of tissues made up of millions of alveoli sacs. So technically, yung buong lungs natin, guys, they are made up of millions and millions of alveoli. Tandaan yung alveoli, as we discussed in earlier videos, dito nangyayari yung gas exchange. So think of it, the lung parenchyma is actually infected. Yan yung TB. So what causes TB? TB is caused by a Mycobacterium tubercle, or also known as tubercle bacilli, known as the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Maraming klase ng Mycobacterium. There's Mycobacterium leprae, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Mycobacterium bovis, which by the way is nakaka-affect siya sa mga cattles. Sa mga cattles, guys, like deer, bison, cows, elks. Ito yung TB nila, guys. Yung nagkakos dito is Mycobacterium bovis. And tandaan, guys, it can be transferred to animals. From animals to humans pala. That's what I mean. But mainly, TB is caused by this mycobacterium called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Hence the name. So, kilalanin natin ngayon yung mycobacterium. Let's get to know this. Guys, maraming qualities ang mycobacterium. Number one, they're aerobes. So, kuya, nag-Arabic sila, charot. Walay talaga yung mga jokes ko, no? Anyway, guys, pag sinabing aerobics, guys, or aerobes, ang bacteria na to, they need oxygen to survive. Kaya tinawag silang aerobes. So, Mycobacterium tuberculosis is an aerobe. These are rod-shaped bacteria, rod. They have these waxy cell wall. Waxy, guys, very waxy. Kaya waxy cell wall sila and they are very acid-fast. Pag sinabing acid-fast, they are resistant to decolorization when doing gram staining. Yung gram staining po is an example of procedure na ginagawa sa lab para ma-detect kung anong klase ng bacteria ito. So ito siya, guys. One example of this is called the Ziehl-Neelsen staining. So as you can see in the picture, ganito siya, guys. Maglalagyan ng stain, may sample, may petri dish, ganyan. Tapos i-check yung bacteria na dyan. So dahil acid-fast, guys, ang Mycobacterium, it will appear bright red when doing the staining. So lalabas yung kulay niya na bright red. Tandaan yan, guys. Yung mga acid-fast bacilli, they look red. Bright red. Just like me. Medyo orange to. Charot. Also, dahil acid-fast yung mga Mycobacterium, guys, they can survive dry surfaces for a very long time. So yung procedure na yun is tinatawag siya na Ziehl-Neelsen stain. And kapag nilalagyan ng stain, nag-bright red yung mga Mycobacterium bacilli. So paano ba na-transfer si TB? Tuberculosis is mainly transmitted through droplet. Yung mga laway-laway natin, guys, yan yung number one cause na mag-spread ng mga disease, which is TB. So, paano natin nasa-spread yung droplet na laway natin? Through coughing, through talking, through sneezing. Yung mga respiratory droplets na to, guys, from an infected person, syempre matatransfer siya sa ibang tao. And then, maglaland siya sa mucous membranes. Guys, kung tatanungin kayo kung ano yung mga mucous membranes, tandaan to, guys, yung T-zone. Eyes, nose, and mouth. So, these are the mucous membranes. Kapag syempre nagsisneeze, nagka-cough, tutok, diba diretso agad yung laway sa mga mukha natin. Kaya, droplet precautions talaga yung kailangan. So again, TB is transferred through droplets. Ito yung mga factors na nagkakaroon ng TB yung isang tao. Number one, they are malnourished. Nagkakaroon sila ng malnutrition. Na-notice nyo, guys, mostly yung mga patients na medyo poor and yung socio-economic background nila is mababa, they are affected of TB. Kasi nga, yung number one contributing factor dito is malnutrition. Kapag hindi masustansya yung kinakain natin, mabilis humina yung immune system natin. Number two is overcrowding. Just like its mode of transmission, syempre, pag maraming tao, maraming nagsasalita, maraming nagsisneeze, maraming may sakit doon, it can be easily transferred from one person to another. Also, alcoholism. People who are alcoholic is prone for TB talaga. TB. Alam niyo kung bakit? Kasi guys, tandaan, if chronic alcoholic ka, you will deplete a lot of vitamin B1. Vitamin B1 is thiamine. Kapag nagkakaroon guys ng thiamine deficiency, nagkakaroon ng malnutrition. Also includes emotional stress, physical stress, virulence, and also, naalala niyo si Mycobacterium bovis? Pag kumain tayo ng infected cattle or cow or beef na meron pala silang Mycobacterium bovis, it can cause TB din. Kasi diba tandaan, although Mycobacterium bovis mainly affects cattle, elks, deers, ganon, pwede siyang ma-transfer sa mga tao. How? By ingesting infected cattle or yung mga meat na mga cows, na mga beef. So these are the contributing factors of TB. So what are the signs and symptoms of TB? Number 1, we have productive cough, yellowish yung kulay niya. Tandaan to guys because lumalabas sa board exam nung time ko. So, take note of that. Yellowish and productive. Also, nagkakaroon ng low-grade fever, also afternoon fever, night sweats, chest pain, and hemoptysis. So, you have to remember these symptoms. To diagnose TB, maraming procedures ang kailangan. The test of choice, the diagnostic test of choice will always be PPD, Purified Protein Derivative, also known as Mantoux test. Ang Mantoux test po, or PPD, is an example of skin testing. So, paano ba ginagawa yung Mantoux test? Simple lang guys, from the name itself, Mantoux test, PPD, yung Purified Protein Derivative, ini-inject siya through skin test, ganito. Papakita ko din sa picture, ganito siya guys. And then, maglalagay ng wheel, or yung bilog. Tapos, titingnan yung induration, yung tawag dito. So, induration yung tawag kung lalaki or pa rin yung size ng wheel. Wheel yung tawag dun sa bilog na ginawa natin as PPD. So, ano yung ini-inject doon? It's PPD. The Purified Protein Derivative. Okay? So, nilalagay dyan guys, yung wheel na yan, iti-test siya for 48 to 72 hours. So, 3 days. So, anong gagawin dito kuya? Titingnan lang if lalaki or magsistay the same yung wheel. Kapag lalaki siya guys, lagay natin 8 to 10 mm siya, it means positive yung person for TB. Ang 8 to 10 mm pala guys is galing yan sa DOH. Pero kapag tatanungin kayo guys, ano naman yung ilang length or width naman sa WHO or World Health Organization? Sa kanila is 10 to 14 mm. So magkaiba pala tayo ng sizes when it comes to international and sa local na criteria. Again, DOH, 8 to 10 millimeters lang. WHO, 10 to 14 millimeters. Remember that. So, kapag lalapad yung wheel, it means may TB yung person. So, piniperform natin yung sputum tests. And also, we have chest x-ray and CBC or complete blood count. Titingnan natin dito yung elevated WBC. Again, why? Bakit tinitingnan yung WBC kung mataas? Guys, tandaan, tuberculosis is infection. Infection of the lung parenchyma. So, ito na yung pinakahintay ng lahat, guys, yung mga medications. How do we medicate our patients and also the important nursing management? Guys, tandaan to. Pag TB, guys, remember RIPES. R-I-P-E-S. RIPES. Rifampicin, isoniazid, pyrazinamide, ethambutol, and streptomycin. RIPES. RIPES. So, ito yung medication of choice, guys, for patients with tuberculosis. So, merong dalawang regimen dito. We have the standard regimen and also the intensive regimen. Intensive regimen, guys, of course, kapag malala na yung TB ni patient. At kailangan talaga ng rigorous na medications. Sa standard regimen muna tayo. We have streptomycin injection, nagbinibigay, usually aminoglycoside. Nagbibigay din tayo ng neomycin and gentamicin. So, tandaan guys, yung gentamicin na to, they have side effects. Tandaan yung 8th cranial nerve, olfactory, optic, oculomotor, trochlear, and trigeminal, abducens and facial, vestibulocochlear. Guys, pag vestibulocochlear ang affected guys, just take note na meron siyang problem with hearing. Kasi nga, vestibulocochlear sa ears yan. So, gentamicin, yung common problem niya is naapektuhan niya yung 8th cranial nerve, which causes tinnitus, hearing loss, and toxicity. So ito yung mga iwa-watch out natin kung gumagamit ng gentamicin. Gentamicin, guys, is an example of antibiotic na aminoglycosides. If you want to dig on that more, comment lang below. Also, guys, tandaan ang gentamicin is very nephrotoxic. It can cause kidney problems. Nephron. So, i-check lagi yung BUN and creatinine. Guys, punta na tayo with intensive phase. Guys, tandaan, the first line treatment for PTB is isoniazid. So, watch out lang tayo guys sa mga side effects. Side effects ni INH or ni isoniazid is peripheral neuritis. Peripheral neuritis, guys, from the word itself, neuritis, nerves. Naaapektuhan yung nerves, okay? So, to manage this, i-increase mo lang yung vitamin B6 or pyridoxine for the patient, no? Yung mga food na rich in vitamin B6, bibigyan mo siya. Next, we have rifampicin or rifampin. Depende na sa'yo yan. Ang side effects nito, guys, tandaan to guys, lumalabas sa board exam, si red-orange urine. Yan yung side effect ni rifampin or ni rifampicin. Red-orange urine or bodily secretions. And lastly, for the intensive phase, we have the pyrazinamide. Yung side effect nito guys is are allergic reactions. Hepatotoxic din siya and can cause nephrotoxicity kagaya ni gentamicin. So that's it guys. The intensive phase, yung mga gamot dito na choice is we have INH, isoniazid, rifampin or rifampicin, and pyrazinamide. Take note lang guys, yung mga drugs na to guys is binibigay siya hindi agad-agad or sabay. It is given simultaneously para hindi mag-develop ng resistance yung pasyente with antibiotics. And also take note, yung isoniazid and rifampicin are given for 4 months para mas mabilis siyang ma-absorb ng body. So it's an ongoing treatment, hindi lang siya one-time, big time. So as nurses, paano natin i-manage yung patients na may TB na? Number 1 guys, we have to enforce CBR or complete bed rest. Guys, may problema yung patients with the lungs, so affected talaga yung breathing niya and airway. So it can really cause circulation problems as well kasi connected yan lahat guys. Okay? So strict CBR. Also, respiratory isolation para ma-avoid yung transfer of disease from one person to another. We have to administer oxygen, force fluids, encourage deep breathing exercises, and also coughing para mailabas yung mga secretions. Kapag yung patient is chronic PTB, matagal na siya, 6 months pataas. Pag acute PTB lang, okay lang to. But if chronic na yung TB ni patient, 6 months na pataas, never do back tapping. Okay? Never clap sa likod. Why? Because it can lead to hemoptysis and can cause bleeding. For chronic PTB patients, bawal tayo mag-clap sa likod kasi baka mag-bleed ang pasyente. Also, mag-nebulize tayo or mag-suction kung kinakailangan. Provide a comfortable and humid environment. And if needed, pwede tayo magbigay ng mga chemotherapy, short course lamang. Also, for our health teaching, guys, you have to understand that before natin protektahan yung ibang tao, we have to protect ourselves. So, nurses, always wear your protective equipment. Your personal protective equipment, PPE, especially with the masks. N95 para hindi tayo mahawa ng mga droplet. Maglagay din tayo ng face shield. Ma-avoid natin na mapunta yung mga droplets sa face natin sa T-zone. For patients, turuan natin sila guys ng strict isolation precautions and also coughing etiquette and respiratory hygiene. Ano ba itong mga hygiene na to? Cover mouth, ganon. Kapag nag-uubo, i-cover yung mouth ng tissue, wag ng kamay, tapos magugas ng kamay, tapos ilagay yung tissue sa waste receptacle or waste bin, tapos magugas ng kamay every time nagka-contact sa mga bagay-bagay. Also, additional facts guys from TB. So may nagtanong dito, is TB ba sa lungs lang nangyayari? Pwede ba siyang mangyari in other organs of the body? Yes. Tandaan guys, ang lungs natin dito nangyayari, di ba yung gas exchange, yung mga deoxygenated blood, pupunta dito para magkaroon ng oxygen. Now, kung may TB ka dyan, of course, it can really affect the blood na dumadalay doon. At kapag maapektuhan guys yung blood na yan mag-travel yan all over our body. That's why patients suffer from meningitis or the inflammation of the meninges. Nagkakaroon sila ng mga kidney problems, liver problems, adrenal problems, blood problems, TB of the bones. Kasi guys, TB can travel all over the body. So, hindi lang siya specific sa lungs. At kung tatanungin kayo guys sa board exam, anong part ng lungs ang pinaka-affected every time may TB? Ang pinaka-affected every time may TB yung patient? Ang sagot dito is the upper lobe of the lung. Upper lobes. Diba? Divided yan into 2 lobes, 3 lobes, ganyan. Bakit yung upper lobe palagi yung affected? Tandaan guys, again, yung mycobacterium natin is very aerobics or aerobes. They need oxygen to survive. Ang upper lobe of the lungs, they contain the highest concentration of oxygen. Kasi doon mas marami yung oxygen tsaka yung mga alveoli. So, yung mycobacterium na yan, dahil gusto niya doon sa maraming oxygen, doon siya magla-lodge sa upper lung. Kaya, if tatanungin kayo, upper lobe palagi yung may TB. And that's it, everyone. I hope may natutunan ka today. Please comment below yung mga gusto mo pang malaman. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I hope makikita kita in my next videos.